So we're up here in the tent, as you can see, all tucked up. Megs is already trying to sleep almost, I think. And I'm going to do the same thing in a second. So yeah, really excited. Always love being out, getting out for some wild camping, try and do it as much as possible. And it's Friday evening. We jumped in the car and drove from Brighton over to Snowdonia. So we're in southern Snowdonia, and we got here. What time did we get here? 9-ish, just after 9 in the evening. So it's dark, but we've come up Cadair Idris, which is a very beautiful mountain in southern Snowdonia. Summit's about 893 meters, and we're not summit camping. We've come up a pretty reasonable distance. I can't remember what elevation we're at the moment. I think 1,300 feet ish. But there's a tarn, a reasonable sized chunk of water up here below the summit, which is just gorgeous, this area. So we're pitched up on a little spot just near the tarn, and we've got a good, I think what looks like in the dark anyway, a good pitch for the tent. New tent, first outing, which I'm really excited about. Seems awesome so far. Obviously first time pitching it. I pitched it in the house at home just to sort of get used to it, but first time pitching out here. And so far so good. It's the Terra Nova Southern Cross 2, so it's a 2-man tent, and it's pretty spacious. There's a porch on either side. It's a full 4-season tent, freestanding. Yeah, we'll talk more about it. I think I'm overexcited. I'm just like, But yeah, we've got all sorts of new kit being tested this weekend. The weather forecast is pretty mixed bag. Got probably some high winds, quite a bit of rain. It was pretty clear when we were coming up. We had stars, we had a little bit of rain. Now we've got cloud cover again, so it's going to be all sorts going on. So we'll come back at you in the morning. We're going to be up early for sunrise and coffee. And yeah, we'll take it from there. All right, time to get some shut-eye. Apologies in advance for any wind noise. It's not too windy at the moment, but there's a bit of wind coming in from this kind of way, I think. But I thought I'd show you our pitch last night and our view this morning, which is pretty awesome. So I'll turn it around and I'll show you. Here's a tent this morning. Terra Nova Southern Cross 2 all pitched up. And here is where we pitched. Yeah, it's not a bad view, is it? It's pretty nice way to wake up. That's where we came from. So we came up the mountain down, way down, and yeah, good night. There's a bit of wind, some heavy gusts at points, but also really calm at points. A bit of rain, a couple of little downpours, but they stopped pretty rapidly, and then, as you can probably tell from the tent, they dried off pretty quickly. There's a Terra Nova. It's completely dry now. Brought the footprint up because it's the tent's first outing to try out. I have to say, putting the tent up last night, I wasn't overly pleased with the way that the footprint fits. I don't know, it just seemed a bit awkward, and it doesn't completely come out. I don't know if this is just because it was the first time pitching with the footprint, but yeah, we'll have to have a look at that. But yeah, overall the space in the tent is pretty awesome. Yeah, it's nice when you're so used to something so small to have a bit of room. This water is crystal clear. I'll go down and grab some in a bit and show you. It's awesome. I just wanted to give you a quick spin of our campsite, show you what we're working with this morning. It's pretty beautiful, really damn beautiful. Unfortunately the cloud cover's kind of rolled in, so we're not going to get much of a sunrise. I'm going to climb up this little crest here and see what I can see that way, just to see if there's any interesting light. Alright, let's do this.
Well, I say this is where we walked last night. This is the path that we were looking for. We were walking the other side of that little hill over a more cross-country terrain rather than a lovely little path. that's fine. Who doesn't love a little bit of mountaineering in the dark? Up against the side of the mountain, I'm not sure if you can see it, but I can. There's lots of little rivers and it's really, really pretty. It's quite chilly. I mean, it's not freezing. Ben would probably say it's fine. It's a little bit chilly, as to be expected. It's just so gorgeous. And last night you could see all the stars until it got a bit cloudy.
It's not particularly cold at all this morning. I guess Meg's probably said it's really cold, but it's not. Given that we're at the end of September, just about to come into October, I think it's pretty mild, really. You see that view behind me? Look at that. It's gorgeous. It's the morning. GoPro doesn't do it justice here. Maybe the limits will do it, but Maggie's.
Oh, there it is.
Oh yeah.
Bird of prey. Quite flat.
Probably can't see it out here.
I feel like it might be a baby.
It's quite big though. Look at the wingspan on it.
It is big.
Probably just about see what I'm looking at.
I wonder what it's called.
It's up here. There you go. You see that little dot? It's a pretty large bird of prey. I'm not sure what. Can't tell, and I'm not much of an ornithologist, so I mean I love birds and birds in the wild, just don't know enough about them, sadly. Need to educate myself. So many waterfalls running down the sides over here. Again, you probably can't see it on the GoPro, but all these little white lines that are up here. We've had a lot of rainfall in the last few days. So far, we're looking good this morning. Famous last words, touch wood, touch wood. Touch wood. But yeah,
There's another bird of prey up there.
it's beautiful.
There's two of them just flying along
Oh
the ridge.
yeah, they're drifting up there along the ridge. So gorgeous. Look at him, he's just drifting in like an eddy up there. Can't see it on the GoPro, it's not going to make it out. Still.
I hear you, sheep. Heard it.
Oh yeah.
See? Mountain sheep. Better than regular sheep. Why? Because they live on a mountain.
I mean, it wouldn't be Wales without some sheep, would it? But this is, I just love this view that you come down into with the tarn sitting and these cliffs rising up here. It's one of those things when you wake up and you climb out the tent, it just makes you feel good to be alive sometimes, this kind of thing. It's so good to remind yourself how grateful we have to be for some of the things that we do get in life. And this is for sure one of those kind of things. Views like this, waking up on a clear, fresh morning in a beautiful place. There's the pitch just over there. You can see the tent. There it is. It's pretty cool. Just thought I'd do a little clip, show a little bit of the clarity of the water over here. Is just crazy. It's so clear, crystal clear. Be nice to have a dip if it wasn't pretty chilly. I need to check the air temperature. Last night when I checked around midnight, it was around 7 degrees air temperature outside the tent, so not particularly cold, and I imagine it dropped a bit lower than that, probably with a bit of wind chill as well, but it felt toasty. I actually had to vent the sleeping bag quite a bit just to cool myself down, and I woke up sweating at one point as well. It's just really warm in there. So yeah, that was pretty surprising actually. I thought it might drop a little bit lower with the forecast being what it was. It was saying sort of -1, feels like -1 anyway with wind chill, and I don't think it did, to be honest. I keep looking out this way because it's just such a gorgeous place. Right, next thing's next, make some coffee. So So if you're like us tucked up in here, and you like coffee a lot, then this is the way to have your morning coffee, with that as a view. Out there, looking out that way. I'm tucked up, lying in the sleeping bag here. And I got freshly ground coffee in this one. Zip it for you. Should have unzipped it when I had 2 hands really. So we got some freshly ground coffee, ground by me at home. I can't remember what beans they are. They're really good ones though. And then we got some Demerara brown sugar. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was Union Coffee makes the same behind me. Union Coffee makes it right. So you got your ground coffee in this cool little carbon fibre bag by a little cottage guy in the UK called Treadlight, and he makes like bespoke carbon fibre goods. You can buy them on eBay or on his website. I've got a couple of his things and I really want to get some more. I actually really like them, they're cool. I'll have to show you a bit more of this stuff. Then we've got the Snow Peak. You probably can't see the Snow Peak, the lighting. GoPro lighting is always fun. Got titanium French press. So there's your plunger. That's good. And then we've got the mug. That's what I'll be drinking out of. And inside the mug is a milk frother, which is pretty excessive. Like, I wouldn't always bring that, but this is a new bit of kit, so kind of really want to see what it's like to use up here and just enjoy it. So that's pretty cool. So you got coffee, milk, which we can warm up as well. Obviously we've got a cooker in the background. I've had that one for years. It's the MSR micro rocket, which I don't think they make anymore. Water, and then we've got in here, I brought some oat milk, so we can actually have coffee with milk as well. Fancy, it's like mountain barista. This is proper mountain coffee. No mucking about, no little sachets. This is coffee snobbery on a Welsh mountain. Yes, please. I'll show you the finished product. Most importantly, got a brown coffee. Smells good though. Smells real good. Get in there. Get in there. We have the finished product. Look at that. I could have frothed the milk more, but obviously oat milk's always trickier to froth. I warmed the milk up, which is pretty cool. I've realised that the cup I'm drinking from, which I was warming the milk in, this little Snow Peak mug, does not fit on the MSR micro rocket. The cup's too small. The burner's slightly too big, obviously. So it's not ideal, but I mean the actual pot I've been using for years, the Esbit titanium pot bit, so it's no problem. Now, just looking forward to having my first sip of coffee. The holy moment. First sip of coffee, and well, that's pretty close here. That's probably a hell of a view, but let's see. Oh, that's good. That's good. Oat milk as well. Yeah. That's good stuff. It's coffee with a view. Yes, please. We're packed up.
You help me do this a sec.
I'm ready to go. Yeah, I'm going to help you with that sec. Thanks. Megan's trying to find a place to put 1.5 litres of water in her 42 litre pack. It's not bad for a couple of days wild camping, filling out 42 litre. It's starting to rain a fair bit now, isn't it, Megs?
It is quite wet out here. You
got the new waterproof jacket on to give a try?
Look, watch this. Look.
So far so good. Which model is this?
The Zeta AR.
Zeta AR from Arc'teryx. You got some toothpaste around your mouth. Yeah, I'm packed up, got the backpack here, tent went away nice and smooth, everything's looking good. Don't know, you might be able to see from the water, there's a fair amount of rain coming down now. It's not chucking it down, but it's pretty steady. So we had it good until this point. That's the way of it. And I'm wrapped up. I'll get Megs to hold this so I can talk.
Now I've got packed and ready to go. She's all down there. Ta-da! But this is Benny's. And this is what he's
I'm
wearing.
not sure how stupid I look with my hood up right now.
Yeah, it looks good.
It's
storm-proofed.
Yeah, storm hood. It's obviously helmet compatible, so it's pretty big. I mean, it's massive, but it's pretty comfortable. It's nice having the room in it. This is the Alpha AR from Arc'teryx. That's new to try out. My previous North 66 jacket that I had for about 5 years, now four and a half years, has finally kind of started to give up the ghost on a recent wild camping trip. It just wasn't doing what it needs to be doing, so I invested in obviously a pricey one, but hopefully it will last. And so far it's really good. With it being Gore-Tex Pro, it's quite crinkly. I had in the previous one Neo Shell, which is a lot softer and sort of supposed to be more breathable. Yeah, I'll go through that another time. But yeah, otherwise we're pretty much ready to go. Everything's packed up. The plan is head up wherever the summit is. I think it's back around this way, up and over where that mist is drifting. So we're going to try and find our way up and over, find the summit. We'll probably at the summit make some coffee, take a look what we can see if there's any visibility, and then from there figure out where we're going to go. And then we'll have to look for a wild camping spot for tonight as well, and see what happens with the weather. Kind of keep an eye on it because there's potentially some high winds and heavy rain. So we'll just we'll play it by ear, but it's exciting, it's beautiful. I have to say it's a really gorgeous camping spot, this one, right by the tarn on Cadair Idris. I can highly recommend it. You can walk up at night and come and find a little spot straight away. So let's do it, shall we? It's raining.
It's quite wet.
But if you can see behind us, well,
probably just it's like a cloud.
The clouds rolled in. There's quite a lot of cloud cover now up here, so you're not going to get the great visibility. But the tarn that we camped at last night is down behind us, way down there. We've climbed up a chunk pretty quickly. It's pretty steep coming up here actually. So we're heading right around, and then the summit's lost literally in that cloud behind us completely. So far, waterproofs are doing good.
Watch.
Wah, camera. Sorry guys, my bad. Take it out, that's cool. And yeah, I'm doing, oh no man, this thing is not loving life.
Not having a good time.
No, we're losing some stability there. But that's okay, we're good. But yeah, the weather's pretty mixed. We had some hail a minute ago as well.
Yeah,
and
that was fun.
It's feeling pretty chilly now. 7 degrees is the air temperature. It's dropped a couple of degrees. And obviously with the rain, where your hands get wet, mine are pretty cold.
My gloves
Imagine your gloves are chilly now. Yeah, they're wet through. Those little marmot ones. But yeah, it's good. It's really fun. It's beautiful. Obviously the visibility's pretty limited now, so it feels a lot more wild, which is always good. And yeah, we're gonna crack on, head towards the summit, and see what we see, which might not be much at this stage. But yeah, it's good fun. Bye! So this is the Bothy / mountain refuge up at the summit of Cadair Idris. There's the summit just up there. And take you on in. Oh, it looks pretty dingy, but it gets a bit better, and it's a reasonable amount of space in here. Here's Megs.
Got my
Megs, who's
scrambled egg and cheese.
Got a dehydrated scrambled egg and cheese warming up.
Oh yeah.
And is very proud of that. She climbed a mountain today.
I climbed a mountain, everyone, just so you all know. I climbed a mountain.
And so yeah, we came up, had a little look around the summit. Started actually pissing down with rain.
Conquered the mountain.
So we've
told everyone else to leave.
come in the mountain refuge. There were other people in here, but they've all left now. It's just us at the moment. We set up, made some coffee in the little French press again. Got our hot water. I filtered a little bit of water, so we've got a bit there. Yeah, made some cups of coffee. Had a couple of little snacks, little bars and stuff. And now we're just having some lunch. So we've got scrambled egg, and then we've got some little pasta bits as well. Got the little light hanging up, so we've got a bit of extra light. Otherwise, it's, as you can probably tell, a little bit dingy. But yeah, all good. We're pretty dry. I'm pretty dry.
You're pretty dry. I'm pretty
Your
dry.
trousers are a bit wet.
My trousers are wet, and my.
I mean, it has been quite a lot of rain for you not wearing waterproof trousers, so
yeah.
it's not bad. And it's about 6 degrees Celsius, so it's not warm, but it's not freezing.
It's not freezing.
Obviously, if you're in the wind or anything, it'll feel a lot colder. But yeah, I'm alright. I've just got one fleece on at the moment over my thing.
Yeah, I've got my base layer.
You can always put your down jacket on if you're too cold, just warm up a bit more.
Yeah.
If you need it. But we're out in the rain for a bit anyway.
I should change my trousers to my leggings.
Oh yeah, up to you. Alright, well, we're going to have some lunch, do a little bit of this. Visibility outside's terrible, so there's not much to show you out there. This is the inside of the little bothy mountain refuge. Wouldn't be a great place to sleep. I mean, you could sleep on one of these benches out of push if it was really terrible weather outside and you got stuck up here.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't really want to sleep in here ideally. It's not very level ground, not the prettiest little place. No area to make a fire or anything. You're better off out in a tent really, more comfy. This was a shot up on the summit, and we got back home and realised that there hadn't been any audio recording in this segment. I'm not really sure what happened to the file, but something went wrong. I think the external mic must have disconnected, but rather than just not use it or leave silence, I thought I'd take the opportunity to do a little voiceover and chat with you briefly. We were up on top here, and you can see the visibility had turned pretty bad at this point. It was getting later on in the day, quite a bit later. I think this was just coming up towards the evening, so it started emptying out. You saw a couple of other people summiting there. I think they might have been the last people we saw summiting. We had the mountain to ourselves in the evening, which is awesome, and we'll definitely be back in Snowdonia. It was gorgeous up there, absolutely gorgeous. I'm not really sure what I was saying here or waving my arms about, and there's Megs briefly. Alright, enjoy the rest of the video.
Guys, over there, that rock that you can maybe see, I don't know, it's like this. It looks so much like a lion.
Alright boys and girls, I've got the GoPro attached to my backpack strap. Stability obviously is not awesome. I just thought it'd be cool so you can see a bit of the descent down Cadair Idris. It's pretty cold. It's around about 4 degrees up here. Hands are getting chilly. Let's get moving.
Gloves with Primaloft in them.
Megs is loving her insulated gloves a lot. She likes down or things that replicate down. It's her thing. Now that it's light in here, you can probably see that the visibility is better than it was. It keeps opening up, giving us a glimpse of the views that we could be seeing. You can see the sea over in that direction, and then it will just shut the curtains again and the cloud cover will just come in. Wind's picked up, so it's more changeable at the moment. Yeah, it's pretty cold. The temperature is saying around 5 degrees ambient temp. Wind chill obviously knocked that down a bit, so you can probably see my hands are feeling it a bit. Had my gloves on, but felt like just getting my hands out for a bit. Yeah, it's opening up a bit. The view you can see down to where we camped. Can you see down to where we camped? Guess you maybe can. You can see that body of water in the distance, and we camped on the far bank over there. It's a reasonable drop. especially when you're moving, you know, you heat up so much when you're moving. There comes Megs out of the mist, appearing gradually. See ya. All good?
I tried to go over to where you were from where I was, but the rocks were quite unstable and slippery.
Check out the view up here, shall we? Beautiful. It's all beautiful. Meg's just found this view. Look at that. Whoosh. It's a little way down over the edge there. Look at that. Wow, that's a cool little gully that's been cut through there. We're on our last little 5-minute segment of our walking today. We've been all the way up there, right around and way up
into
there,
the fog.
up to the summit where you can't see. And now we're back down in this really quite dramatic bowl with the tarn, and we're going to camp, I think, pretty much where we did last night, because there wasn't really any water anywhere else. So we needed to kind of drop back down so we could get water, and obviously we also have to walk out tomorrow to have a 7-hour drive home. So we're going to find a good little spot here, and we'll bring you along to try and find a spot that we can use. I think the one from last night was pretty comfy.
Yeah,
So
I really enjoyed it. It was very flat.
it was pretty good. Let's see. Quite still down here.
Yeah.
And there's a breeze, but not much. And there's no rainfall. Like over this way, isn't it? I mean, I'm sure there are other good spots to be there. But that was a
Particularly good one.
particularly nice flat spot. I think the wind again is kind of was coming in this way.
Yeah, you can see it on the water where
Yeah.
the direction. Yeah, because that was the rock where we went down this morning and washed
Yeah, we're
stuff.
just there.
Yeah.
I think we were on that little raised section. There's like there's clearly a bed of rock under there. It's kind of like marsh running up to it,
Yeah.
and then it's suddenly like dry. And this is quite marshy. And this is quite marshy too. Pretty wet. It's like Dartmoor wet.
Yeah.
It's like basically the whole of Dartmoor is like that.
This is Dartmoor. This.
Head across the marshland. Whoa, that looks pretty deep. Avoid the really deep marshland. These are important life lessons, everyone.
Don't
Avoid the
pitch the
really
tent on a marsh.
Deep marshland.
Might feel soft, but it's not great to sleep on.
And this is our spot.
Lovely.
Pretty confident that this was it.
Yeah, look, it's all
here.
squished.
Nice and flat. And I think we'll get a pitch again where the rear of the tent is basically this way again.
Right, let's get the tent up.
Let's do this. This is our spot for the night. Home with a view. Pretty good one.
The soundtrack of some sheep.
We're back at our first night camp spot here at the tarn. We've set everything up now, which is pretty cool. Just before sunset, so we've got 15 minutes to 7 o'clock. Sun's going to set about 1:15, so we've got some pretty cool light happening now. You can tell, there goes Megs. And here is part of the mountain. Cloud cover is lifted a little bit. Intermittent. Yeah, we dropped back down. We wanted to be able to get water, obviously, and I was interested in camping on the summit, but be aware if you're going to do that, there's not a lot of water right there, or any that I saw in general. I probably needed to have a little bit more of a look around on a day where there was more visibility than like a meter, but I couldn't see any obvious water sources up there, so it was a bit difficult. We went up and had lunch, and that had already used most of our water. Had lunch and coffee, so we could have dropped back and then back up, but we have to get down to the car tomorrow for a long drive back home, so we thought we'd come down here. We knew it was a good campsite from the first night, really comfortable and plenty of water, and very beautiful. So we got set up. I just thought I'd show you a quick tour inside the tent. Second night using the Terra Nova Southern Cross 2, and pitching it is really easy, really easy. Got the ground sheet with it. We'll see how that goes. I like the fact that it comes out into the porch, so you get full cover in the porch, which is really handy. And then it's kind of nice, you've obviously got a vestibule or a porch, depending on how you want to call it, for each person, so each person can store their gear and get in and out individually, and there's enough space in the vestibule, like it is, hopefully you can kind of see, it's pretty big. So I've got my pack in there, that's, what's that, 55 litre pack. I've laid out a little gear here. Need to put a couple of things, just put my GPS on charge. Might look like a lot, but it's not, it's just spare batteries and torches and stuff basically, and camera gear obviously. Water's all filtered, done on that side. Sleeping bag set up. Neo X-Therm, I've been using one for years. I can highly recommend them if anyone's looking for a mat and wants comfort. I'd really like to try one of the X-Ped ones, so if anyone knows what those are like in general. I've never actually used them, I want to know. I've read reviews and stuff, but I'd love to hear from people. But yeah, that's the space inside. Got a little lantern hanging up there, and you can see the pitch. Pretty nice and tall. It's freestanding, so it's really easy in that respect. And then you've got one vent that kind of comes out. You've only got 4 guys, one on the side, and then another vent. Pitched tail in, the wind's coming in from this way, so we'll tail into the wind. And the doors clip back handily as well. And then you got here, Megan's made a mess already, as usual. Got her side with loads of food by the look of it. And yeah, she's also using the Neo Air X-Therm. I mean, they are really good. If you use one, I can guarantee you'll like it. But yeah, you can see the space inside the tent, and just a little brief tour. Just wanted to bring you guys along and show you. And we'll do hopefully some gear reviews at some point, and take you along with us on more trips. I love getting out. It just, honestly, I sometimes struggle with feeling massively stressed, like probably all of the modern world, so you know I'm not special in that respect. And I have also struggled with depression in the past and those kinds of things, and if there's one thing that can really help and make you feel just so different about the world and about your existence, it's getting out and being outside and just doing things, you know, in the wild, on a mountain, in an open space, in the woods, just being outside and kind of getting in touch with that and taking time to focus on other things. Join me here with my morning coffee. Had some ground coffee well, that's what I brought with, was ground coffee that I ground myself, which is always nice. And yeah, we had a chunk left, so I made some nice strong coffee, and I brought a little bit of oat milk with as well. So luxuries, a little bit of extra weight to carry, but if you go light elsewhere, then you want to enjoy certain things, and I like a really good coffee in the morning and in the afternoon, both. It's good, it's really good. This is the morning view, just taking it easy. Got up, gonna get packed away soon. There's the tent, looking good. We had some pretty serious wind throughout the night, right into the morning. There was some really heavy gusts. Slept like a baby. I slept about 9 hours. Went to bed really early, around 9 o'clock, because we were tired. And then I think the first time I woke up was sort of about 4:30 in the morning. Briefly woke up and it was raining really heavily. I could hear it on the tent and fell back asleep again. So yeah, loads of sleep. I feel really refreshed, and just thought I'd enjoy my morning coffee with the view of the mountain. There's a bird of prey that's squawking rather off in the distance there. Can't see him at the moment. But it's a good way to wake up. Good place to have your morning coffee. Makes you feel very contented, a lot more in touch with yourself. Anyway, enough of that crap. See you later. We're walking down off of Cadair Idris from where we camped last night at the tarn, and we've come down now just below the tree line. It's kind of like a woodland area running up to where you then exit and go out onto the mountain proper. And they've had a lot of rainfall in the last few days. There was a chunk last night, but last week I think there was even more. So today's Sunday, the week leading into it, and that means that there's some awesome water. You can probably make out it drops away quite steeply down the side. And there's Megs. Yeah, we're not far from being back at the car, so we'll get back to the car, pack our stuff in, and we'll have to hit the road for a long journey home. The sun's peeking through, as you can tell, which is nice. It's been pretty good weather this morning, no complaints. Had our coffee, packed up, headed down, taking it pretty easy. I slept so well last night, which is awesome. So we'll leave it there for the minute. All right.